Greetings, strangers, queer and pleasant. I'm not Laura Keith Magnet-Dale.
And I'm not Jane Harris Magnet-Dale, and welcome to another episode of Queer and Pleasant Strangers.
Melty strangers.
We're very melty. We're two queer trans women, we're wifey types.
We're melting.
We're melting. It's very warm.
It's so hot.
It's been several days of 30 plus degrees Celsius weather in the UK,
With 1,000,000% humidity.
Yeah, which I think is like 90 Fahrenheit plus very
I heard
heavy
someone
humidity.
this morning say it was 150 Fahrenheit.
That's
Because it's UK.
That doesn't sound correct.
It's hyperbolic, so maybe.
I believe that's like 90 Fahrenheit. It's too hot and humid is the thing. We're not built for it.
No.
But we're here recording a podcast. I can't imagine it's going to be the longest one in the world given the heat.
No.
Have you been playing things this week?
Yeah, I played some things.
Yeah.
Played a bunch of Splatoon 3. Still playing through that.
Yeah, we played some of that together in multiplayer at the
did.
weekend.
How are you finding being back in it after playing it to get footage?
I remember really enjoying Splatoon 2 when we both played it around the Switch's launch. It was like we weren't living together, but like we would like be on the phone and play it together.
Yeah,
It was lovely.
dates.
And Splatoon 3 came out, and I played enough of it to get footage for work, and then other things came up, and I just never got back to it.
Yeah.
It's been nice to get back to it.
See, for me, it was, hey look, I have been playing Splatoon 2, I very much enjoy Splatoon 2, I don't really see what Splatoon 3 is adding to the
Yeah.
situation. Like, I'm pretty sure it has some of the same maps.
It's got some cool new single-player stuff in there that's different.
I'm not sure how much of that is DLC, though.
Well, that's very true. I think
So I didn't initially make the upgrade,
Yeah.
but now that I'm playing it on Switch 2, I have, in fact, finally picked up Splatoon 3, and
It looks very nice on the Switch too.
Yeah.
It recently got a dedicated update patch, and it looks very nice. Yeah, it was similarly. I think like there wasn't like I knew that I think the Salmon Run stuff was exclusive to 3.
Anarchy Battles.
Yeah.
Salmon Run was in 2.
Yes. Well, that's the problem. Is like in my head, I struggle to pick out which bits were which. So
Yeah, and I think the biggest issue I have right now with the Anarchy Battles is they're very often, it's difficult to get a game.
yeah. So what is an Anarchy Battle for anyone who doesn't know?
It is you pay some amount of points and you go in and join a battle on a team, and you are challenged to go through a set of 5 missions. You don't have to do them all at once.
Yeah.
Which is convenient, because if you happen to have finally managed to get a team together and then it's hit the hour and all of the maps have rotated,
Yes.
then you will just get kicked out of it and be like, hang on, I just paid my points to get into this.
Yeah.
So it is convenient, but yeah, the number of times it's just been like, no, there's not enough people online that are playing this mode to get into Anarchy Battle.
It's been a few years since Splatoon 3 came out, and I think most people just play the default mode.
Yeah.
Which doesn't help for getting a side mode going.
No.
But yeah, we've talked about Splatoon before. It's that Nintendo third-person shooter where you are shooting paint at the floor rather than so
You are
much
shooting each other.
Yeah,
the
but
main
only
thing
to
is-
stop each other shooting the floor.
Largely, yeah.
Yeah, it's if you shoot someone else and knock them out, that's like an amount of time where they can't be painting the floor.
Mm-hmm. Literally painting the town red.
I'm not amazing at this game,
Same.
but I am. My level of skill at Splatoon 3 is precisely at. Every time I go into a match, I think that there is like a decent possibility that I could win, but I would never bet any money on my winning. Like, it feels very plausible I might win, but I would not feel confident enough to put money on it.
Yeah, I would say my level with this is I feel pretty confident in my own skills. Like, I'm not great,
Yeah.
but like I feel like I've got enough of a thing that I know basically what I'm doing and what are good things to do, and I can help a team. And that's not just because I'm really like studious about making sure that every square inch of our base is properly inked, but also because when it does come down to 1-in-1, I can like more than 50% of the time survive those.
Yeah. We're both players that gravitate toward the rollers, the sort of paint rollers.
Yes.
That are like big, wide, basically always painting the floor as you run around.
Yes, and you've got a big swipe that you can do as you're like initially putting your thing down, or if you do like a jump, you can do quite a long swipe.
We're very melee ranged, like not doing like aiming a gun reticle players.
No.
And I think we both benefit when we're paired up on a team with some players that do use guns, so that we have some range support to like help us on the combat side.
A sniper, for example.
Yeah, we're very paint the floor, try and sneak to the other side and be painting the enemy base while no one's paying attention. Hope that we survive if we get forced into a fight types.
Yes.
And we have a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah.
It's the 3-minute match length is perfect, like more-ish one more go kind of territory.
Yeah, and it stops you. It stops anything feeling like completely overwhelming. So if you do encounter a team where you're sitting there like, these people are clearly all in voice chat because they're really coordinated.
Their names all sort of match up.
Yeah, they're all kind of dressed the same, and they're very much like moving or like splitting into like two sets of two and then doing like little pincer movements.
If you're getting your ass handed to you, it's never going to be long before you get put up against new people and you have another chance.
Exactly. Like, yeah, for all the problems I've had getting into anarchy matches, getting into like standard matches and not feeling like I'm constantly stuck with the same people.
Yeah.
Hasn't been too bad.
We played a bit of a side mode as well this weekend.
We did. We played the tabletop something. It's a card game.
Yeah, there's a card game. You get a starter deck and you can get booster cards, and the cards will put down like a shape of a certain number of cubes on a grid, and you are basically trying to put down the most squares as possible to score points, but you're also trying to put your shapes down in a way that blocks off the other player and like limits what space they have to build in.
Yes.
Because their shapes have to be at least within a 1 square radius of something else they've placed.
Yes. That includes diagonals, which initially I didn't get. But...
Yes. So it's a lot of like manipulating, trying to like box in the other player, or trying to put your own big pieces down. And there's special attacks where you can like have rare opportunities to place your blocks like directly onto the other player's blocks and sort of open yourself back up.
And then there's this whole mechanic of if you put your pieces in a place, because the turns are taken simultaneously.
Yes.
So it's like you're both placing your blocks, and then it's revealed at the end of the turn.
Yeah.
And if you place on top of what would be somebody else's, it then goes down to whoever had the lowest card number.
Yes. So you can go for, like, you can end up with priority for, like, oh, we both went for the same spot, but I went for the smaller card, which means I am priority in the spaces we overlapped.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very interesting, silly little side mode, that.
Yeah, it's we've not played much of it, but it was, again, very Moorish.
It didn't have a great tutorial, so it took us a couple of matches to, like, understand what options were available to us.
Yeah, like, it doesn't even, like, really do much of a tutorial. It's like, here's 10 pages, read those pages.
Yeah, it didn't explain, like, the special moves or how they worked or what they did or
not really, no.
the positioning rules.
But it is fairly self-explanatory once
you can work it out through play pretty easily.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with Splatoon 3.
And correction to last week, you were right that it was the roguelike mode. The first run through it, which I hadn't completed at the time, there isn't really a lot of choices to be made.
Yeah.
It's just sort of quite a long tutorial, really, trying to sort of get you through that.
Yeah, I wasn't certain because I hadn't played it myself, but I remember trailers and being like, selecting paint palette from a paint palette and going up a tower sounds familiar.
Yeah, that is the side order mode.
Yes, side order, that's it.
Yeah, enjoy it, like the graphics, especially once you get some colour, because that initial like default starting colour is
beige brownish.
I find it a little bit difficult to really like see properly.
Yeah, I do want to give it a go. It's on my. I just need to work out because Splatoon doesn't have like a traditional like menu to select from. I just have to work out how to find that content.
Go to the station.
Cool. But yeah, that's Splatoon 3, which has been fun.
What else have you been playing that you can talk about?
I have been chipping away at Death Stranding 2. I started playing it through from the beginning on stream on Twitch, and that's been really nice. It's been a very chill game to play on stream.
And how is main protagonist Jeff Stranding?
doing as well as he can be with his having grief. But between streams, I've been doing a lot of the like side content that I'd ignored during like my rush to get through it for review, which has largely meant doing side quests, which generally don't really have plot connected to them, other than pick up this thing, take it here, pick up this thing, take it here. It's a lot of the same thing you're doing in the base game. But I've been taking all the resources I get from doing that and trying to build infrastructure.
Yeah.
I have been doing big infrastructure building projects, which you are encouraged to wait until you've connected an area onto the grid. You've got it hooked up to the 3D printer Wi-Fi before you start.
Network.
Yeah, before you start like building roads and monorails and things there, because generally speaking, other players on the same seed as you will have already contributed some materials, and like you won't have to put all the resources in yourself. But I'm impatient, and therefore I'm doing side content to get like large amounts of little bits of material at a time, so I can drive my truck and be like, I'm going to build this road. I know I'm not supposed to be building this road yet, but I'm going to come build this road. And I am pretty invested in the idea of, on this playthrough, building all of the monorails and all of the roads and having like a proper road infrastructure system in this game.
Wow.
It's become the slowest possible game of like building a train simulator map. It's become the slowest possible version of this kind of game, where I'm just like, I'm doing side quests purely so I can be like, have I saved up enough to have another 30 meters of road? Eventually this road will reach another town or settlement. Ooh, look at me go. I've connected the monorail so it gets to... My first segment of monorail is completed, so it goes through like all the stops before like it doesn't go any further. There's more monorail somewhere else to find, but the first monorail is completed start to finish across all its stops.
Oh, yeah.
I'm having fun.
Yay.
What about you? What you been playing?
I've been playing some Overcooked 2.
Ooh.
This is wacky game of organised chaos. Organised at your own risk. So you are chefs in a little kitchen. There is a story about the unbread. You have to stop the unbread, and it involves cooking somehow. So yeah, you're little chefs. You can be cats. You can be people. There's a whole bunch of wheelchair users I'm starting to unlock, but they should have been unlocked from the beginning. Or at least one of them, come on.
Right.
Yeah, there's a good number of different characters you can be. The characters are entirely aesthetic. But you're just trying to like prepare food, like chop the vegetables, put the vegetables on a plate, send the vegetables out. Maybe you need different vegetables or multiple types of vegetables on the next order, and you're going to get like constant streams of orders coming in. You're encouraged to try and cook the things in order, which is easy if you're playing in single player, but as soon as you're playing in like 2-player, it gets way more chaotic. By the time you get 3 players...
Yes. Coordinating what everyone is doing feels very much in that game like being a line chef shouting at everyone, being like, I need more chips. Did you get the chips? Who's been doing this?
Yeah, so we've been playing this on stream. Lauren and I have been playing for a couple of weeks. We had Alice from Humans Hollow News come and join us as well. On last Thursday's stream, and oh boy, that was chaotic. We're obviously progressing further through the game now, so things are getting much harder.
Yeah.
But we also had Alice, who was new and didn't really understand all of the mechanics.
Yeah.
And there's only so much we can say of, I don't know the mechanics of this level either, we'll have to just kind of suck it and see. But yeah, we did eventually sort of manage to get some systems working whereby someone was washing things up, someone was taking orders out.
Yeah.
And Lauren wasn't just throwing buns everywhere. It's like, we can't move for buns.
You've sort of got to organise it like the way you would something like running an escape room, where it's like, right, is everyone on jobs? Is like, do we know who's doing what and what's where?
Can someone clean a plate? Can someone throw me a lettuce? Yeah, because there's also the whole mechanic of you can't throw cooked food or prepared food.
Yeah.
Like, if it's just chopped, that's fine. But as soon as things start getting cooked, that's a real problem. And like one of our biggest like sticking points has been like any levels where you got to fry things, because frying takes a while, and then it has to go straight onto a plate. You can't just like put it down on a counter side.
Yeah.
So it's like making sure you've got enough plates, making sure you don't actually put the wrong order on a plate, and then have to take the plate, throw the thing on it away, and start cooking a new thing again. Yeah, like fries and fried chicken is probably one of the hardest combos we've encountered so far, and it seems so simple otherwise. Chop the chicken, chop the potatoes, fry the chicken, fry the potatoes, put both of them on a plate together and send them out. Chaos. Chaos, chaos, chaos. Also, we've had like a whole bunch more levels that are all about like dividing the players up. So like some will be on one platform, some will be on another. And it's like throw ingredients to each other or run through the teleporter when the stairs are working in this particular way or not. And yeah, it's been a lot of chaos and a lot of shouting and a lot of me almost swearing quite a lot. I'm not good under pressure. But yeah, we've been having a good time. This week will probably be the last week we play it because I get a feeling we're reaching a skill level that I'm not going to find fun anymore.
Yes.
So we'll see how that goes.
The inevitable endpoint of a game designed to be stressful.
Yeah. Like, it seems like there might be a whole bunch more game to play, but I'm not sure I can be asked for
I
it.
felt the same way at a certain point in playing Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes, the bomb defusal game where someone's
really
using the manual.
That I could never read the Morse code.
Yes, the Morse code is frustrating.
Yeah, I wish I could do better. If it had been beeps, I feel like I'd have been better with that.
Yeah.
But I really struggled to focus my ADHD brain on...
Yeah.
Was that a long dot, a long dot, or a short dot?
I would be curious to play that game again better medicated.
Maybe.
See how if it goes any better.
Maybe. What about you? Have you played anything else?
The only other thing that I can talk about that I've really been playing, and I'm playing this reluctantly, is I'm playing Pokemon Go at the second.
Ah, yes.
And this is not for the reason you would think, which is I'm playing it. I've been recently playing it to get some currency to trade some Pokemon to a friend of mine who like is actively playing it daily, and there's stuff that was like time limited that they don't have that I'm trying to send them.
Yeah.
But the reason I'm like this week playing it is once again they've done the bullshit thing of there being a shiny Pokemon variant that's only available in Pokemon Go and only available for a very limited amount of time, so I have to have a minor amount of stress about it. So
it's too hot.
Yeah, so here's the short version. There's a Pokemon introduced in Scarlet and Violet called Gimmighoul. It's a little tiny person with a coin, and you collect like enough of them, and you get like a treasure chest with a big. You get one in a treasure chest, and then it evolves into like a man made of gold coins.
Yes.
The form that is just the little imp with a coin, you can only like catch that form via Pokemon Go, and there was like a whole convoluted system where you have to like get gifts from other players, collect a postcard, send the postcard to your Switch 2 to get a half-hour activation of, like, for half an hour, this tiny little version of Gimmighoul will spawn. And this Pokemon Go version was shiny lots, so it couldn't be shiny. It's now available as a shiny for 6 days. Which means that for 6 days, if I do this, like, get the postcard, send it to the Switch 2, get half an hour where Gimmighoul spawns, that you can only do that once a day. And this only runs for 6 days, meaning I have 3 hours across 6 days to catch as many Gimmighoul as I can in those half-hour chunks to try and find hope one of them is shiny. Thankfully, the shiny rate is pretty high. It's not known exactly, but the previous promotions like this have been 1 in 64 odds, and that people seem to think that is correct for this one, given their experiences.
Okay. How many have you got so far?
I got somewhere just short of 40 today on the first day. So it feels like, statistically, I should within, like, by the second day, odds are I'll have probably seen one. By the end of 6 days, it would be surprising if I didn't find a shiny. But the knowledge in my head of though I've done shiny hunts where those kind of, like, the stated odds don't guarantee shit, and, like, where it's been like a 1 in 4,000 chance, and I've been on like 15,000 resets and not seen one. I know how this shit can go sometimes, and it's mildly frustrating me that I'm like, I'm sure they'll do a way of getting it sometime in the future or something, or I could trade with someone. But as someone that collects shiny Pokemon, I'm like, fuck you doing this bullshit. It reminds me of the way that they used to distribute Shiny Mew, where it's like, oh, you can get Shiny Mew if you were in New York this 1 week in 1998, and once a day for 8 days you rolled the dice to maybe get this Shiny Mew. Bullshit like that they used to do, they're doing again. So, reluctantly, I am Pokemon going on, like, the hottest week of the year, because fucking the Pokemon Company is bullshit. I love Pokemon as a series. I think this is a bullshit move. But I'm here and I'm doing it because I want that little imp with a coin that's a slightly different colour for my fucking shiny decks. That's everything I've played. You played anything else this week?
Nah, that's it for me.
Well then, time for this.
Right, so that's Pride Month gone. We've packed all the gays away.
The obligatory rainbows are gone.
Yeah, we've packed them up in some crepe paper, I imagine, and stuck them in a shoebox until next year. And,
yes.
So, who should we care about next? Who's gonna, look good for marketing?
I don't know. Should we throw a dart at the dartboard?
Right. Yes,
we'll give this a try. The paws.
No,
not the paws. No,
never, absolutely not. That'll give them ideas.
Okay. What about what do you got?
Well, let's see. I'll have a go at the dart. Disabled in July.
No. It'll never catch on.
No, it'll never catch on. We couldn't support the disabled in July.
Disabled, some sort of disabled pride. Never catch on.
No, never. Okay, what else we got? We got black people. Well, they've had a history month, so I think that's.
You can't be giving them two things.
No. They can't have 2 whole months.
Oh, 2 whole things.
2 whole months now. Veterans? No, fuck them.
What about?
Oh, yes.
I was going to say, what about executives?
Oh, well, I mean, who does care about us? About us?
I hear a lot of people hating on us, and to me, that means we are being victimized, and maybe we should be the ones who are cared for a bit.
Absolutely. We should get our own flag.
Be nice to executives month.
Be nice to executive months, and it's a silhouette of a person in a business suit pissing on POV.
And it's customary to donate money to your local executive during the month.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
And I am registered in many reasons as being local to a lot of people. So
yes.
Massive tax write-off.
Oh, yes.
Hello.
Yes?
We've got a new sponsor.
Who's our new sponsor?
Well, am you too hot?
Funnily enough, yes I am.
Would you like less hot?
Oh, please.
Would you like nice cool?
Oh, I would love
Would you
nice
like
cool.
chill in bed?
I mean, if you mean literally chill in bed, yes, because currently the bed's too hot, but if it could be cold, I would like that.
This week's sponsor is chillinbed.lol.net.
Ooh, tell me more.
It's a liquid-cooled refrigerated blanket for those hot summer nights. It has a series of capillaries that move chilled air and fluid up and down the inside of the blanket.
Ooh.
So you're chilled all night without any risk of condensation.
I would really like to not wake up from condensation. I don't want to wake up like covered in liquid to be cold.
Condensation, but you will be nice and cold.
Condensation.
Exactly.
Yes.
You'll be nice and cold.
Oh.
You want that, huh?
Yeah.
Well, that's chillinbed.lol.net. Enter the code Q&PS and you too can chill in bed.
Oh, this is dangerous. I'm going to want to spend the whole day in bed. Oh, no.
Me too. Shift over. So, what have you put in your eyes or ears?
We put a film in our eyes together.
We did,
this week.
and we held on to our vaginas.
We did hold on to our vaginas. We went and saw Megan 2.0.
We did, which is apparently tanked at the box office.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
It was a fun film. I'm surprised it didn't do well.
I had fun with it. Well, it's got girls in it.
Well, to my knowledge, the first one did really well. But yeah, we talked about the first Megan a little while ago. It's that quote-unquote comedy horror film about a woman who makes a robot to be like...
AI?
Yeah, this AI robot's going to be friend to my niece I've adopted, and oh no, it took... Your prime objective is protect this child to murderous extremes. Oh no.
Yeah. So if the neighbour's, like, telling your kid off, the neighbour's got to die and their dog.
Yeah, but all of this very yassified. Megan 2.0, I thought was a very fun film.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. It feels like the Terminator 2 to Megan.
Yeah, it definitely feels... like, the first film was like a niche idea and the second one had budget behind it. It felt like it could ride the fact that it knew the first one was liked a bit.
Yeah. But it didn't shy away from, like, within the first 5 minutes, literally punching someone's head off.
Oh yeah, no, it is ridiculous. It was a consistently funny film with some truly gross moments.
Yes. Also, it's a film about a horrifying AI, and there is deadly neurotoxin. Even if it was like a little... Some of the plot beats were a little predictable, it wasn't in a way that was bad. It felt like, oh, that's foreshadowing that I feel smart for noticing where it's going. It was a fun romp.
It was a fun romp. It had some good action scenes.
Yeah.
We were talking about this on the walk back. The gold standard is an action scene that doesn't have to use a lot of cuts. The next step down is what this achieved, which is cuts.
A decent number of cuts, but you can still follow it.
Yeah, the cuts are sensibly placed, so it's like maybe you start a kick and then, there's a cut and we're finishing the kick. There is enough visual continuity to follow the fight scene despite the fact there are cuts in it.
Yeah.
It's
there's also just some fancy camera stuff that's quite silly. I enjoyed the barrel roll camera maneuver.
Yeah, very much. I liked a lot of the, like, MacGuffin-y tech silly ideas they had going on. It is a shame that this film reminded me of... What's the name of the cute AI robot assistant that no longer is online?
Oh, Moxie.
Moxie.
Yes, because it's got a Moxie. It was in the trailer. That's not really a spoiler.
Yeah.
But we were like, that sort of is the thing that really ages this film before it's even come out, because I can't remember if Moxie has already gone offline or is going offline.
Oh, it's gone offline already, yeah.
Because that was like the whole thing... tail end of last year, having to explain to all of these autistic kids whose parents were like, well, we'll let you bond with the robot since you struggle to make human friends.
And now your robot friend won't talk to you anymore. We have to explain death to you for your robot child.
Yes.
Yeah. Things I appreciate about this film, even the grossest of terrible gross male characters still respect ongoing consent. There's little details like that where I'm like, you know what, this film, well done, touche. Even the worst of people are still like, no, we've still got to check that this is enjoyable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good, stupid time.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I'm very glad we saw it.
Yeah, it was fun.
What about you? What you been putting in your eyes or ears this week?
We have been watching more New Who.
Yeah.
So we are most of the way through season 2. I think we're about to start the finale, the 2-part finale.
Yeah, so this is the Tennant's first season, Rose's second season.
Yes.
We are about to start the 2-part finale, which is, I'm bracing for, I'm not emotionally ready for.
But we do get to listen to Doomsday, which is one of my favourite Murray Gold tracks.
Watching through this, I've had a couple of feelings about it. And, like, I'm going to say a thing now that I think is fair for me to say, having just watched these 2 seasons back-to-back. While I think that David Tennant is an incredibly consistently good performer of the Doctor, I do love what he does with the character, I don't think that this second season has as many, like, this defines what I feel the Doctor is moments as Eccleston's first season. And that's not to say it doesn't have really good standout episodes. Like, this Tennant season does a really good job of balancing, like, new threats, returning threats, modernized threats, consistent character building. I do think it's it's a consistently great season, but I do feel watching them back to back that, like, Eccleston took bigger swings that, like, felt like they said more about the character. And maybe that's easier for Eccleston to do because he is re-establishing the character after multiple decades of absence.
Yeah, but also the Doctor's always a little bit different.
Yeah,
from actor to actor.
Yeah, Eccleston definitely had more opportunity to establish things, and maybe it's an unfair comparison to hold Tennant to that standard. But there's been fewer moments with Tennant where I've gone, that one little speech you did, like, is going to stay in my head for weeks. But he's in maybe stronger stories.
Agreed. I think there is still time for that to happen with Tennant.
Agreed.
Because I feel like some of his later speeches are maybe a little bit more powerful.
Yeah. It's because, like, I'm thinking through this second season, and I'm like, as much as I really enjoyed, like, we had that episode last night with the child's drawings, fucking unsettling.
Yes.
One of those great examples of, when you have limitations of families might watch this together, you have to do shit that is way scarier, in some regards. But, like, I can't think of any moments that of this first season with Tennant that have really stood out the same way as, like, this time everybody lives, or the, begging to get out the room with the Dalek. Like, I've not felt like there's been those Doctor-defining moments so far with Tennant.
I would argue that Christmas Invasion's got quite an important one. With the whole, okay, yep, if you agree to leave, we'll show you mercy, we're not going to do anything, and then that Sycorax leader just, like, running up behind him with a sword, and then him just throwing the apple at the button that makes the side of the thing disappear so that he dies.
Was it?
And it's got this cold one line of, everyone, you only get one chance.
I think this is a Tennant one. That episode where, like, the Doctor agrees to let the alien species go, and then...
It's the same episode.
Yeah, it is that same episode.
It's the same episode, slightly later, because he says, okay, you swear on your species' blood.
Yeah.
You swear a blood oath that you will leave the Earth and know that it's protected.
Yes.
Harriet Jones, Prime Minister, decides to fire the torch with cannon.
I'll give it that. That is, I think, the Tennant's most defining moment so far this season.
We also haven't seen the tail end of Don't You Think She Looks Tired?
Yes, and again, that Don't You Think She Looks Tired, I think is again, that first episode with Tennant.
There's a lot in there.
There's a lot of really good, you establish that character
which is
really
impressive
well.
Considering he spends most of that episode asleep.
Yeah, I'll give you that one. And again, I don't mean in any way to suggest that I don't think he's a fantastic Doctor. I think this has been a superb first season for him, but it's been consistent. And you know what? Maybe it is just because Tennant sets the standard for what I think a lot of the Doctors after him model. Like, even if they bring something of their own to the performance, a lot of the Doctors that follow do carry a lot of Tennant's energy forward.
Yes, and I guess it feels sort of a that's the trope, that's the archetype. No, it wasn't when he did it though, because
that's the thing, is going back to watch this, it feels like he is giving a very solid baseline performance of the Doctor, and that's maybe not giving him enough credit, because I have gotten used to this version of the Doctor because he set this standard that everyone else kind of followed.
Yeah.
And again, that might be why Eccleston's performance feels like it stands out, is because he made a lot of choices before that Tennant standard that kind of permeated everything that came after.
Yeah.
Because, like, Tennant was so popular as the Doctor for good reason.
Well, also, like, he had the decency to stick around for a while.
Yeah, like, he really cemented a lot of those things about the Doctor that I almost take for granted at this point, in a way that, like, Eccleston only being around for one season and being pre-Tennant, of course he feels distinct from that performance that lasted a long time and set an ongoing standard.
Yeah, I feel like if you'd come at it from the point of view of watching classic Who, then watching, only having seen Christopher Eccleston, and then coming to this that maybe you'd feel differently.
Oh,
But
very
by
possible.
virtue of having all of the foreknowledge of everyone that came after.
Yeah, and it might not be fair, but it's where I feel rewatching it.
Yeah.
You got any more thoughts on this season?
No, I'm really enjoying it. It's been nice to watch through again. I think I'm having like a lot of the same thoughts that I had with the first season, in that watching this as an older person now, am a lot more forgiving of the sorts of things that annoyed me when I was younger.
Yeah.
Like, I'll even give the Absorbaloth a pass. Like, it's...
Will you
It's
give
a-
a pass to the man who fucks his concrete girlfriend?
I don't have to give it to him. If he wants to fuck his concrete girlfriend, that's between him and his concrete girlfriend, and nothing to do with me what they get up to. But that is clearly canon.
Yeah.
That's what they said.
Yeah.
That is what they said. What about you? Have you watched or listened to anything else?
I did just have one more Doctor Who thought that's just come through my head,
Ooh.
which is I'm glad they de-incelled Mickey in season 2.
Yeah, like, it's amazing how differently he's written in that season.
It's amazing how little it took to get him out of that funk.
Yeah, like, he's much better written in that season, and then almost immediately goes and does something heroic and just decides, that's it, I'm out now.
I genuinely think that that Rose's run on the show is better for not having Mickey be a part of it for those last run of episodes.
Agreed, but, like, also, it was nice that Mickey got to, like, have some growth and go and often do
Agreed.
something completely separate from Rose, which in many ways means that the end of, like, the next story kind of does, like, some damage to some of that. Because, like, Mickey going, okay, well, I'm just gonna go and be in another dimension where you don't even exist.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go and do this thing, and I can go and be completely independent from you, and now she's gonna fall through a dimensional crack and be in there as well.
I'm going to be honest, I completely forgot that the dimension she ends up in is the one that Mickey's in, but yeah, that kind of undoes some stuff.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, you watched anything else this week?
Not really. We watched that new Game Changer that was, very special.
Maybe the best episode of Game Changer yet.
Maybe, yeah.
It's
Spin the enormous roulette.
Yes, it's one of those big Prices Right wheels, but it's got rules, and then that rule gets attached to you, and if one of your fellow players notices you break a rule, you steal one of their points and you give them one of your rules, and...
For tattling.
Yeah, it's you are rewarded for tattling.
Mm-hmm.
And the rules are very, very fast-paced, moving from player to player, so it's easy to forget which rules you're following.
And some of the rules can be inverted.
Yep,
Or
and
cloned.
it's maybe about it. It is definitely the most chaotic that a Game Changer gets by its finale.
Yes, yeah, but in the last 5 minutes of that, it gets so monumentally chaotic.
It's
But in a great way.
You pointed out it's very clear that no one on that set wanted that episode to end, to the point that there was an opportunity for it to end and it did not.
And they just, like, poked it a bit
It's
more.
saying, nope, we're still
End.
going.
No, we're still going. Thank you very much.
It's maybe the most that I have genuinely believed the level of enjoyment on screen of like, oh, everyone here is just having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might be my favourite episode of Game Changer. It is so good. I don't know if at the start of... Early in the episode, I was like, I want this to get spun off into its own thing. By the end of it, it was like... I kind of
do, but I kind of don't.
I kind of want this to live in infamy as its own standalone thing, that, like, it was a moment and we don't try and recapture it. Don't try and catch lightning in a bottle. Don't try and catch lightning in a bottle twice.
I mean, what if we could do Game Changer, but it's always a wheels game?
Well, that's the
And
thing.
we change what the wheel does.
That wheel's too nice to not reuse.
It's a great
They
prop.
need to reuse that
It's
wheel.
huge.
Yeah, that's a great wheel they need to be reusing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, part of me is like, you did this episode, you did the concept perfect. I don't want a repeat of this concept if it can't be this good. And I don't know how you one-up this without it feeling forced.
Very different props, I guess. I guess the props would, the prompts would make all the difference.
Maybe. I think if you were to repeat this, I think you would very importantly have to have a way for the host being the host to stay the way it is. I think that, like, that is the DM says yes to a thing once, but doesn't allow it in future.
Yeah.
I let you have the rule
I feel like people would go for it much earlier if they knew that was
I think it's a rule of cool moment that you would have to go, we allow it this once.
Yes.
But, absolutely beautiful. If we haven't recommended it enough, Dropout is a very good streaming service. Go check out Dropout.
It is, and their
Dropout
shit doesn't, like, disappear and arrive on other channels that you have to pay more for.
Yeah, it's just very good, consistent improv comedy output.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's everything I've watched this week.
Well then,
time for this.
Inside the boardroom of Supremacy Software.
Hi. So, I've been working on something devilish.
Excellent, that's the best kind of ish.
Right, I've been having fun with this one. So, you know that right now it's way too fucking hot.
I mean, except in here, where
Well, yeah, we've got the perfect air conditioning, but, like, you know, generally speaking, for people not like us,
poor people.
Yeah, for poor people, it's a little fucking warm right now.
Yeah.
I have a plan that makes us money and makes the poor people suffer more.
I love it.
So,
Go on.
I went and spoke to the nerds downstairs, because they're always trying to, like, optimize the game so it, like, runs better and, like, doesn't use as much power and, like, doesn't make the fans on the console go so fast or whatever.
Yeah.
I said, do we have to do that?
Right.
Could we make the game bloated in a way where it makes the fan have to work really hard blowing out hot air into the room to run?
Yeah. Really work the graphics card.
Yeah. And, you know, we come up with some, like, explanation, some justification for doing it, like, oh, it's because we're blasting more processing power or whatever.
I've heard of blast processing.
Processing, yeah. But we sell a microtransaction, and we, like, don't make it, like, immediately clear what it does.
Right.
But we let people, word of mouth spread.
Right.
The fan on your console stops spinning so hot and chucking as much hot air in the room if you buy the microtransaction for a little while. Like, it's not cooling down your room, but, like, it's not heating it up as much anymore.
Yeah.
We're not making you suffer quite as much if you buy the microtransaction.
You are an evil genius.
I know.
I love it.
Hey, kitty. What's up?
It's too hot. Turn off the hot.
I'm sorry, kitty. I don't have the ability to turn off
Less
the hot.
hot.
I'm
Make the hotness.
Okay, well, I'm trying. You have a lot of fur that needs to be off of you. Like,
No.
No?
No.
Because if I could brush you...
can hold the cool air in the hairs, so I'm actually cooler by having the hair on.
No, that's your winter coat, and if you would just let me brush some of it out.
No.
Okay.
No brushy.
No brushy. Okay. What if I... Oh, gosh. I can put your food in the fridge before I put it out?
Maybe. And it would like all the food cold all the time. Always, every minute of every day.
I mean, I can... You might get a couple of minutes of cold out of that.
Hours of cold, please.
We could give you a bath.
No.
No? No? The fan would probably cool you down more if you had a little bath.
No. Bath.
Okay, so I can't do that. I can't brush the winter fur out.
The hot.
No. Okay, what if I just pet you and
No,
tell you
you're too hot.
Okay, I'll do my best.
Turn off the hot. Spider-Man, turn off the hot. Do you know what I want to see more of?
What do you want to see more of?
Brochure Justice Warriors.
Brochure Justice Warriors?
Yeah.
Alright, Larry.
Alright, Larry.
How you doing?
Melty, mate. Melty, very melty.
Same. Too bloody hot. Too bloody hot.
You been doing alright?
I've been doing alright, I suppose. I've been looking on with horror at the state of the world a little bit. You know how it is.
Yeah.
I've been grumbling at the increasingly useless state of the internet, you know?
Yeah, what's happening now?
Well, you know, places that used to be worth going to on the internet for, like, you know, expert opinions on stuff are really just, like, ceasing...
Ask Jeeves.
Yeah. Well, like, you know, websites that paid writers who were experts to talk about subjects.
Oh, right.
You know, places that, like, had expertise on topics.
Your music analysis, your tech analysis.
Yeah, your good in-depth reviews of things, your guides content, your news updates.
And then they all had editors that didn't value any of the writers and were like, what if we just made money?
Well, I mean, that's the thing, is that, like, the way that the internet is going is making it increasingly difficult for the people who are doing stuff the right way in these kind of sites to actually make any money, as AI is just scraping their content and regurgitating it out, so you never need to actually click on the person who made the content. You just see AI.
I mean, assuming that you even get to the website and that Google hasn't given you an AI summary.
That's it. Google's AI summary, or people using ChatGPT as a fucking search engine to summarise shit so they never click on things in the first place. And it's kind of a self-fulfilling fucking prophecy, because all these sites are closing down because they can't make money anymore because no one's clicking on them.
No.
Because the AI is replacing them. But the AI now is not getting any kind of fucking data to train on, to have up-to-date, regurgitated opinions about.
Yeah, and the only thing really it has to eat is its own content.
Indeed, which is not only making, the AI worse and more hallucinatory as it goes, but it's, long-term, making it impossible for it to actually be, like, relevant and up-to-date, because it is killing off the very people who would do the legwork to, because AI can only hallucinate what it's already seen, and if you stop it seeing new things by killing off those industries, it's gonna fucking die.
Meanwhile, we've seen that it is affecting people's, ability to reason or, the sort of processing for mental things.
It is actively demolishing logic and reasoning ability in its users.
Yeah, and also like just creativity as well. It's actually making people less creative.
Yeah,
and there's been studies on this already, and it's quite devastating to see that I feel like it's not that long been used in schools, and even then, a lot of it has been like, well, don't use it for actually writing your final papers and
I do feel
your homework and
I
stuff.
do feel like its impact on education and like school-age children is like the big fucking like devastation it's causing, that it is gonna take a couple of years to really be apparent how much it's fucked up people's ability to learn shit.
Yeah, and by which case we've already taken an entire generation and just fucked them up.
Yeah, I mean, that feels like half the fucking news stories at the moment anyway, is we've taken a generation and fucked them up.
Meanwhile, it, massively... is a massive environmental damage, and here we are, already in the midst of a heat wave, and
well, exactly,
it's only going to get worse if we keep being like, what we need is more AI.
I keep thinking about all the super cooled water that could be keeping me cool today.
Oh, I'd love to be super cool right now.
I would love if super cooled water was like flowing past me, but instead it's flowing.
Even just like if I was
tippy tappa toesy, right? But instead it's being flown through a fucking data center to keep its AI running. That's water that could be keeping me not so fucking hot right now.
I'd love that. And, maybe even the whole community's not so fucking hot.
Well, I mean, that too.
Yeah. Well, democratise all the super cool water, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah, fancy hug, mate.
Just a little one.
Just side hug, yeah. Wow, you are hot, mate. You are roasty toasty.
I'm a little roasty toasty.
You are, yeah. Oh, yeah, I think that's good. Yeah. Well, I am going to go and have a nice cold shower.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
Nice.
So, Laura,
Yes?
when you're not melting on a sofa next to me, what you do, where people find that?
People find me and the stuff what I do at Laura K Buzz on the internet. That's where I do the stuff. Patreon's the one that pays the bills. As little as $1 a month, it does the stuff. Other places you can find me, on YouTube, you can find all the stuff I do. This week's Access Ability is talking about, hey, a video game with so much accessibility that it can theoretically, quote, play itself is a good thing. Let's talk about why. if you are in Brighton for Develop a few days, like the week after this episode goes up, I will be giving a talk at a accessibility event happening near Develop. Check out my Blue Sky for information on that. There's a Dave that's got a bunch of accessibility micro talks happening. Sign up for that. Come along, see a bunch of accessibility talks. I will be talking about autistic player accessibility in video games. I'll be giving like a 15-minute, very rushed micro talk on that. Yeah, what about you, Jane? Where are you at on the internet?
Not nowhere nearly so prestigious. I go patreon.com/StoneMonkeyRadio. As little as $1 a month helps me keep doing all the things. And you can find all my other stuff at linkter.ee/Janiac. JANEIAC. Laura!
Yes?
Can you sing us out, please, darling?
Until next time, be a stranger.